Welcome back to Guitar Theory Modules. This is Module 16 and we're on pages 51 and 52. In a minute we're going to look at minor triad arpeggios similar to the major arpeggios you learned in Module 13. What I'd like you to do is memorize these minor and major patterns and include them in your practice routine. Just like the major arpeggios, each note of the chord is labeled, your root, 3, and 5, and we're going to play from the root to the third to the fifth, and back down to the third and then the root. The thirds in these minor triad arpeggios are labeled as flat 3. In non-classical styles, a minor third is often called a flat 3, and that differentiates it from a major third, which is usually just labeled as 3. And it doesn't matter if the note itself is a natural, sharp, or a flat note. So in non-classical styles, a 3 equals major third, and a flat 3 is a minor third. This book is geared more toward non-classical styles, and that's why I'm going to be using the 3 and the flat 3 terminology. I'm going to start all these arpeggios from the 5th fret, but you should practice them all over the fretboard and be sure to name your starting note. We start with our minor triad arpeggios with the root on the 6th string. I'm starting on the 5th fret, so this will be an A minor arpeggio. This one starts with your 4th finger on the root. So we have finger 4, finger 2, finger 1, finger 2, finger 4. Or root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and root. Or you could call it 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, 1. I can play those exact same notes starting with my first finger on the root, so this is still an A minor triad. Now our fingering is 1, 4, 3, 4, and 1. That's root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and root. Or you could call it 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. Minor arpeggios with the root on the 5th string. Again, I'm starting on the 5th fret, which will make this a D minor arpeggio. Our fingering here is finger 4, finger 2, finger 1, finger 2, finger 4. Or root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, root. Or you can call it 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. I can play that exact same arpeggio starting with my first finger on the root. Now we have finger 1, finger 4, finger 3, finger 4, finger 1. Or root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, root. Or you can call it 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. Let's look at minor arpeggios with the root on the 4th string. This will be a G minor arpeggio because I'm starting on fret 5 of the 4th string, the G. Our fingering here is 3, 1, 1, 1, 3. That's going to be root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, root. Or you can call it 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. I can also play a G minor arpeggio starting with my first finger on the root. Now our fingering is 1, 4, 3, 4, 1. You can call that root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, root, or 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. Now let's look at minor arpeggios with a root on the 3rd string. This is on page 52. This first one's one of my favorites because it's pretty easy. This will be a C minor arpeggio because I'm starting on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, the C note. Our fingering is 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. You can call it root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, root, or 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. I can also play a C minor arpeggio starting from my 1st finger. We have finger 1, finger 3, finger 4, finger 3, finger 1. You can label that as root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and root, or 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. And you may want to experiment with fingerings on this one. I have us doing finger 1, 3, 4. You could try 1, 3, 3, just bar, or 1, 4, 4. Experiment and see what works best for you. And we have a minor arpeggio with the root on string 2. This will be an E minor arpeggio because I'm still playing at the 5th fret on the 2nd string. That'll make it an E. Our fingering is 1, 4, 3, 4, and 1. You can label that as root, flat 3, 5, flat 3, root, or 1, flat 3, 5, flat 3, and 1. Once you're comfortable with these 3-note arpeggios, see if you can connect them and create more extended arpeggios. Here's an extended arpeggio with the root on the 6th string, 4th finger. Our fingering is 4, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, and back down, 3, 3, 1, 1, 2, 4. We can also play an extended arpeggio starting on the 1st finger on the 6th string. Now our fingering is 1, 4, 3, 3, 1, 1, 1, and then I'm adding this flat 3 on top that wasn't in the other arpeggio just because it's available. So there's a flat 3 on top with finger 4, and then back down to 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 4, finger 1. And now we have an extended arpeggio starting on the 5th string, 5th fret, which would make this a D minor. I'm starting with finger 4 on the root, and our fingering is 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, 3, back down, 4, 2, 1, 2, and 4. You can play those exact same notes starting with your 1st finger on the root. Now our fingering is 1, 4, 3, 3, 2, and 1, and back down, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 1. I'm going to show you 2 ways you can practice these arpeggios. I showed you this in Module 13, but it's well worth going over again. The first approach is to take a single arpeggio and move it up and down the fretboard. This is really great if you want to focus on muscle memory. So you play an arpeggio as low as you can on the fretboard. I'm going to use this one. Then you move it fret by fret all the way up the fretboard to around the 12th fret and back down, and make sure you name your starting note as you play. B flat minor, B minor, C minor, C sharp or D flat minor, D minor, E flat minor, E minor, F minor, F sharp or G flat minor, and maybe we'll stop at G minor. Once you've reached that point, play the other way. F sharp minor, F minor, all the way back down to your starting point. And make sure you do this with all of your major and minor patterns. The second approach is to play all of your arpeggio patterns, but starting on one particular note. This is a really good way to combine arpeggio practice with fretboard knowledge. So pick a note, let's just pick the note G, and play all of your minor triad arpeggios starting on all the Gs that you can find. We can start on this low G with first finger. We can start on this 4th string G with our 3rd finger. Or we can start with our 1st finger. We can start on this G on the 8th fret on the 2nd string with our 1st finger. We can start here on the 10th fret of the 5th string with our 4th finger, or with our 1st finger, or at the 12th fret with your 3rd finger on the 3rd string. If you do this with 2 or 3 notes a day with your major and your minor arpeggios, it's really going to boost your fretboard knowledge. Your assignment for this module is to add both major and minor triad arpeggios into your practice routine. This is going to be a lifelong assignment, so feel free to move right on to Module 17. Don't forget to check out my book, Guitar Theory Modules. You can watch all these videos and learn for free, but if you have guitar theory modules, you're going to have this information all in one place. It's going to be a lot easier to follow along, so I'll leave a link in the description. That's all for now. Thanks for watching, and when you're ready, I will see you in Module 17, where you're going to learn about diminished triads.